Good morning. Sorry, I had to go turn the fan off. I realized I had not turned it off, and all the noise that fans make. I'm StampinDeDe. This is Stampin' Thursday mystery card, and I am so excited to be here with you today. We are going to create a funfold card step by step. And hopefully you have gathered the supplies that were listed on my Facebook page and my Facebook group. Hopefully you've gathered those supplies and you can create this card with me. It's a little different than the mystery cards that we've done in the past. I think this one maybe is a little bit better, a little easier maybe, and maybe not so discouraging. I don't know. We're going to do it together and step by step. So these are the supplies that you needed to gather. So let's look at them together. The first thing that you're going to need is a piece of designer series paper that is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And here's the one I chose. Hopefully you have selected some designer series papers as well. So here's the one I chose. And then you need another pattern of designer series paper. Okay, I'm looking at my computer and I'm not seeing hopefully, yes, okay. So the second piece of designer series paper is 2.5 by 4.5. And this is the paper I chose for that. These are from the Daisy collection. The designer series paper, let's see what it's called. It's called Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper. And then you will need a piece of cardstock A, 6.5 by 5.5, and you scored it at 2 inches along the 6-inch edge. So here's the 6-inch edge. And your paper needs to be 5.5 inches. Your card is 5.5 inches tall. It's a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch card. So there's that piece of cardstock. Then you need another piece of cardstock. This is cardstock B, and this is 6.5 by 4 3/4, scored at 3 3/4 along the 4 3/4 edge. So we've scored that one at 3 3/4. So we've got that. Then you need a basic white for the inside, 3.5 by 4.5. And that's something I had to go back and add. So if you've gathered your supplies early Wednesday and you're thinking, oh, I didn't have that piece. Well, I had to add it because I had forgotten about it. So this is just your basic white, 3.5 by 4.5. And you'll have time to add that to your supplies. And then you need a basic white shape. And this is basic white or very vanilla, whichever one you use. You need a basic white or very vanilla shape, approximately 2.5 inches by 3 inches. This could be any kind of shape. It could be a rectangle. It could be a square, a circle, whatever you want it to be. And I chose a circle, and I chose the stylish shapes. The stylish shape dies for my circle, that's these. And I used the next to the largest circle. This is a great set of dies to have. It also calls for a sentiment. a sentiment label. Now, on this card, I did not use these, but I did on the other card I made. So these are your sentiment labels. And what's nice about all of these is that they're nested, so that you can actually create a border. You can have a mat behind your sentiment label, or a mat behind your shape, a little bit larger because they're nested. All right, and then a sentiment for your label, and I used a label from the Fresh as a Daisy set, and I used the sentiment, oops a daisy, so sorry. So I've already stamped that, and I'll give you time though to stamp it. And then you were to die cut some images to fit on that basic white shape. So I did. I stamped a daisy, and I punched out some leaves, some stems. Here's all my stems that I've punched out. Just, I wasn't sure what I would use, so I punched out a variety. There's a stem. And then it says gems or ribbon, whatever you want. And I decided that I would try a double bow from the linen twine. So, all right. So we're ready to put this card together. I hope you have your supplies ready to go as well. All right. The first thing we're going to do is a little bit of stamping so that we can put this piece on and have it ready to go. We're going to use our white 3.5 by 4.5 inch shape. Now I'm going to move the mystery supplies over, and all we're going to do on here is just stamp something for the inside, and I'm just going to do a leaf. And this leaf, I believe, is from the Fresh as a Daisy set. I believe it is. So, or the Timeless Arrangements. This may be from the Timeless Arrangements. And I don't want it to be very dark, so I'm going to grab my piece of old t-shirt. I think I've shared this before. I take my husband's old t-shirts and I cut them up into little squares. Well, that's not too little. I cut them up into pieces. And I use those all the time. So I'm going to stamp this off, and then I'm just going to stamp it right down here. I just want a very faint image. So I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to stamp it off, and then another little faint image right there. And I could do one up here. Why don't we? I stamp it off and put one right along there. There we go. That's good. All right, we've got our inside ready. So I'm going to go ahead and take your, this is your 6.5 by 4 3/4 that you scored at 3 3/4. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere my white piece. Hopefully I can get this started. All right. We're going to adhere the white piece right onto it. Right here. Now, if you have a sentiment that you want to put on the inside, you, of course, can do that. So that's this piece. We've got it ready to go. So now we're going to take our other piece of cardstock, and we're going to position this. So let me put adhesive, and you should put adhesive on the back of your 6.5 by 4 3/4 piece, the one we just added the sentiment to, or the inside to. And we're going to put adhesive on this so that we can put it down. And we want it to go right inside, because what this is going to do is overlap a little bit. So you want it to be centered. And you want an edge on this side. And you want it to overlap. Looks like I need to come down just a little bit. Now, don't mash down until I'm ready. That looks good. That looks just what I want it to do. So let's secure it down. And now we're going to add our pieces of designer series paper. So this is the 2.5 by 4.5 piece, and I'm going to add it right here. Okay. I'll show you in a minute the paper that, the designer series paper that I pulled this from. All right, we've got that one. And then another piece from the same set. And this is your 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And move this over. And we're going to secure that with our adhesive. Am I getting on here? All right. I want to make sure it looks like it's going up. It doesn't really matter on this paper, but I want more of the branches going up than I do down. This was my pecan pie, by the way, that I stamped this in. It's one of our new 23, 25 in colors. Pecan, I think that's right. Let me look. I have to keep referring to my chart. No, pecan pie is one of the new core colors. It's one of the new neutrals. Pecan pie. It's a great color. You know, we lost crumb cake. So pecan pie, or we lost soft suede. Yeah, we lost soft suede. And pecan pie kind of picks up what we lost with soft suede. All right, so we've got this. And now we're ready to embellish. I'm going to, you can put this, your shape, anywhere along your card you want. And you want it to hang over a little bit. So this leaves 3 of my daisies showing. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it right there. And I'm going to use a dimensional for that. I was trying to make sure I don't have too much, let me think a minute. Do I want my dimensional behind that or behind the flower? I think I want it behind the flower. So I'm going to use my Tombow glue for this. And get it to come out of my... There we go. Now you don't want to get over the mark where you're going to put it down, because you don't want to stick it to this piece. So I'm going to put it right there. Glue it down. And now I'm going to add my embellishments. And let's see how I might want to do this. I know I want that one back there somewhere. Maybe right there. I'll put this. And maybe one of the Lost Lagoons. tucked behind the daisy. I think that's what I want to do. So I'm going to put my daisy on first, and I'm just going to use one dimensional right in the middle so that I can tuck the others behind it. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to get my bone folder and crease this down again. Let me put it over here on the solid wood so that it'll stay down a little bit better than it's doing. It's not going to stay down perfectly. That's just the way it is with a fun fold card, but I do want it to there. Well, I don't know. Anyway, all right. Now we're going to put just the tiniest bit of glue, and that's why I use this dispenser glue bottle, because you can just put the tiniest bit of glue. And I'm going to tuck this right here. And then I'm going to again use the tiniest bit of glue right on the stem. And I'm going to tuck it right there. And then I'm going to do one more right there. There we go. Tuck this in right there. Mash it down just a little bit. All right. And now we have our sentiment. And I think we're going to add it overlapping the circle just a bit, the shape, because I really want my 3 daisies to show. So I'm going to use a couple of glue of dimensionals, and we'll overlap it. Really, I'm putting it under the daisy just a bit. There we go. Let me make sure it's straight. It is. All right. Oops-a-daisy. So sorry. Now, where shall we put our bow? I could put it here. How does that look? I'm going to trim some of this off. I like that. I like it right there. So I'm going to use a glue dot for that. Put that glue dot right on the back. And I'm going to put it, is that where I want it? Yep, that's where I want it. But now I have to take my snips and trim these off. Let's see, is that enough? Yeah, there we go. Have one of these left. I don't need it. All right, look at our fun fold card. Is that not the cutest thing? Let me show you the Oops-a-Daisy, or the Fresh as a Daisy Designer Series paper. Here we go. So here's the Fresh as a Daisy Designer Series paper, right here. All of these papers with the backgrounds, more of a solid background, really do give you lots of different ways to use your designer series paper. I'm looking again. There we go. All right. Now, I am going to show you, though, this paper that I used to get these two patterns. So let me get my Fresh as a Daisy paper right here. And let me pull out the second. I've already cut up the first one. So let me pull out the second piece of designer series paper. All right. So here it is. This is included. You have two of these in your kit. And as you can see, I used this one. And I used this one here on my card. But look at these. They're great. You can get four or five cards out of this one. 4 or 5 different cards out of this one sheet of designer series paper. I love that. I love that. So that's how I did that one. All right. That's your Fresh as a Daisy designer series paper. All right, I'm going to show you now my second card that I made using this same template. You can do so much with this. A lot of the things I bought from the catalog, a lot of the new products I bought were flowers. And I didn't want everything to be flowers. So I did this one using the Playing in the Rain set. Here's the inside. I think I actually used the same stamp on the inside. And I want to share with you the paper. This paper is one of the new designer series paper sets as well. And it is amazing. Let me turn to it. It is called Masterfully Inked. Look at this paper. Look at all of those gorgeous colors. There are so many colors in this and so many options. So I used this a piece, just one little piece out of this one, and then the back of it. Oh no, I used this one, the lighter purple, the lighter Fresh Freesia. I used that, and I used this. So you can cut pieces out and get totally different colors. So I used that. I also used, again, I used the stylish dies, and I showed you those earlier. I'm showing you from the catalog right now. The stylish dies, stylish shapes dies. I used for my stems, I used one of our punches, and this is called the bow punch. And you get both stems. Let's see, and I used both on this card. And on this one, I just used the small one, the small part of it. But the bow punch, a great punch to have just for random things. I also used, of course, the turtle is from Playing in the Rain, an adorable set. Now, this is not brand new. It's in the catalog. It's not brand new. It was in the seasonal catalog this past time. But these images are so cute. So cute. And I used the turtle on here. And then the flowers, for the flowers, I used the Petal Park punch. And let's see. Let me find a picture. Well, I'll just show you the punch in the back. The Petal Park set, this is the stamp set. And the punch that comes with it is this one right here. So here's the Petal Park Builder punch. And it gives you 3 flowers and a leaf. And it allows you, because they're different sizes, it allows you to build up a flower if you want to. And I really like that. I didn't use that on this one. I wanted to keep it simple. And so I just used, I punched the flowers out of the Designer Series paper and added them. And I added iridescent rhinestone. Because these rhinestones pick up colors. And because of that, because there's so much color in this paper, I decided to use the iridescent rhinestones. All right, so those are the items from the new catalog that I used. This one was mostly Fresh as a Daisy, but this one I used a multitude of items from the catalog on. So I hope you will enjoy doing this funfold card. And thank you for being here. If you're watching on YouTube, if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to ask, because leave a comment, because I check back often. And please, just let me know that you're watching. I would love to know who's watching on the YouTube channel and where you're from. Also, thank you. If you're watching the replay on Facebook, thank you for watching. And I would love for you to comment as well. Thank you so much for being a stamper and a card maker and watching my video. You have a great weekend. Bye-bye.